We are blessed to be in Dar Salaam, Tanzania once again. Watu wa Bongo mpo poa? Yeah. This is Impact Masters podcast in collaboration with Africa's Talking Retold Podcasts, brought to you by Michael Kemadi, or if you want, MK. Telling the stories of Impact Masters, movers and shakers in tech. And today's a bit shiny, and if I look at my back, I can see the Indian Ocean. Quite beautiful scene. And today we are hosting Catherine R. Kimambo, the founder and executive director of African Child Projects. You can find these at africanchildprojects.org. Leads an NGO that aims to change narrative about African communities and its people through transformative projects in technology, education, policy, regulations, and rural development in Tanzania. Additionally, she serves as a community champion for the Common Voice project under Mozilla Foundation, which will be delving in extensively. Working on language-inclusive AI technology by creating a voice dataset for the Kiswahili language. Catherine represents Basic Internet Foundation Norway, found at basicinternet.org in Tanzania. Advocating for affordable internet access for all, she boasts a diverse background, including being an alumni of YALI East Africa, a European Youth Volunteer Erasmus Mundus 2017, Open Space Foundation in Bulgaria, a 2022 Microsoft Founders Hub Scholar, and a member of Youth IGF. Catherine's dedication extends to being a blogger and storyteller, sharing inspiring narratives on how the internet is positively transforming rural Tanzania, emphasizing internet for good. Welcome once again. How are you, Catherine?
I am fine. How have you been?
I'm good. So forget about what I just said, because that's what you want, the world to know you for. But there's who Catherine is, and I think it would be beautiful if we start from that point where you tell us who is Catherine. Where did Catherine start?
Okay. Leave aside the biography that you just read.
Yeah. Let us know Catherine for Catherine, not Catherine for biography.
Okay. So code mixing is allowed, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. So the way I'll describe Catherine, I would say she's resilient, curious, adventurous, patient, and also loves to work in a team. I think that's because I'm a Libra as well, so that adds up to the balance. I'm balanced. I love everything about equality and balance, and that's why you see most of my work gravitates around how do I bring certain services to people who can't afford. So that's how my flow has been.
Yeah.
But if I say resilience and I'm patient, I think it takes me back to when I started, or when all this started. That was I started this journey on 2015. I think it was as soon as I finished my Form 6 studies. And then I wanted something different for myself. And I really wanted to know what's out there apart from just studying, getting a good degree, and then applying for a job. And then that's the flow that the whole world sets for us. So as a youth, I wanted to see what's out there, what's different, what's something different I can do with myself.
Yeah.
And so I started, as soon as I finished my Form 6, I decided I was not going to apply for university. I think my parents freaked out. They thought it was all about peer pressure, and maybe somebody just influenced me, or maybe I'm onto something. But deep down, I just knew that there was something more out there apart from just studying and getting a degree.
Yeah.
So I applied for different volunteering opportunities to travel the world and see what's out there. I started engaging in different projects at a very young age. And then something kicked in. I think I got my first volunteering opportunity with Erasmus Plus, the European Union.
Yeah.
And that was a shock to my parents when I told them I have a ticket and I'm traveling to Bulgaria. They were relating it to human trafficking. Somebody could be kidnapping you. How can you just travel out of nowhere?
Yeah.
Your clan or your family has never traveled abroad. So I would love to term myself as the first. I think I am the first to do many things in my family. I'm also the first to do many things with different youth groups that I meet.
Yeah.
I've pioneered different projects at a very young age.
Yeah.
So for me, that's the resilience that comes with it. I think also the patience to nurture things from the ground to see them grow. So that's how I would describe Catherine. If you leave aside the bio and the accolades, deep down, I'm just someone who wants to explore, someone who wants to see what's out there, who envisions different outcomes that can come out of something and not going with the status quo or the norms that are set by us,
very nice,
by the
very
community.
Nice. Yeah. So, do you come from Dar, or you were born here, bred here, everything?
No, okay. I was born in Arusha, a region just, I think we're close to Nairobi.
Yeah, you
we're
guys
neighbors
are close,
practically.
2 hours drive. Yeah.
Yes. So I was born in Arusha. The first time me coming to Dar es Salaam was when I finished Form 6.
Okay.
Relocating from the place I was born to a new city, starting afresh and deciding I was not going for college. So I would term Dar es Salaam as the land of opportunities. When everyone who wants to do something different or start something new with their lives, they come to Dar es Salaam to just explore and see what's out there. And it's not false because there are a lot of opportunities for most people who know what they want when you come to this city. So when I relocated in 2015, I knew exactly what I wanted. And this looked like a land of opportunity for me to get what I want. So I relocated here in 2015 to date. I'm still here, yes.
Now that you come from Arusha, how is the experience growing in Arusha?
Arusha is a very small city. You can find your way around easily. I remember coming here for the first time, I was very scared to move around because of the stories you'd hear about Dar es Salaam. I'm sure you've been, it's the same hassle as Nairobi, the capital cities, So when you want to get to public transport, sometimes you have to enter through the window.
I've seen a couple of videos around that.
Exactly. It's true.
Did you ever get into that experience?
No.
You look flexible though. So.
I can pass through small spaces.
Yeah.
But no, for me it was, I think, I wouldn't say cultural shock, but the adaptation that came with moving to a new city, having to learn everything from scratch, my way around and all that. I think it took some time for me to adapt. But luckily for me, I had friends who have been living here who I studied with. So they easily took me in, wanted to show me around, and so that for me was at least assisted in the adaptation phase of relocation.
That's nice.
And
what is your craziest encounter in Arusha and Dar that you can't forget?
Craziest encounter in Arusha,
and it can be both good and bad.
Okay, let me see. Oh, Dar es Salaam. Yeah, my first time coming here, I think craziest encounter in Dar was, when you're walking around in the city and then you wear your backpack on your back because it's a backpack. But in Dar, you have to wear it at the front. Because someone could be opening your bag in crowd places.
Wow, that's crazy.
And take something off your backpack. So when I was working at some time, I think it was 2015 when I came in, when I was freshly from Arusha, I was wearing my bag and there was money in my backpack. And so as I'm walking, someone was opening my bag. And then people could see someone doing that, but they're not going to tell you. So as soon as you discover on your own that someone is opening your bag, that's when they start to assist you. But if you don't, they say, okay, let him just have his luck. He was lucky this time. And so someone was opening my bag and then I could hear someone unzipping my bag. And then when you turn around, you just see everyone like moving around with their business. He's acting as if he's just looking somewhere else. But if you start walking, he's also following you. So someone opened my bag and took the money out. Then I was like, someone took my money out of my bag. And then he was started walking. I said, he took my money out. Then people started chasing him. And he threw the money and ran away. Yeah, but in worst case scenarios, people will start beating him up. You know, those things, mob justice, yeah. But for me, that was like a shock because in Arusha, you wouldn't have anyone doing that to you. Yeah, so I think that also put me in survival mode most of the time when I'm in Dar es Salaam. You have to also, okay, where's my phone? Where's my bag? When you get to public transport, when you're squeezing into the bus, someone is also squeezing into your bag. And your pockets. Yeah. So it's a constantly survival mode in Dar. I think those are the craziest moments. But apart from that, it's fun being here. There are a lot of things that you can do as a youth, for fun activities, game nights, club nights.
Give us like a bucket list kind of, you know.
The beach to start with. If you, as you see, we're at the almost close to the beach area. But also, if you are up for a nightlife, I think Dar es Salaam is the place to be.
Any recommendations?
Havoc. There's a place called Havoc. The name speaks for itself. So I've been around to different places in Dar, and it's fun. But Arusha is a place where at 8 p.m. everyone is already inside sleeping. But here even at 3 a.m. people are still out. So the city is busy throughout. So for me, that's a plus.
Nice. So any interesting, memorable moments in Arusha?
So for me, Arusha adds up to my second personality, which is this person who loves to explore and adventurous. So I go hiking.
In Kilimanjaro? Or?
No, there are like small hills in Arusha. Mount Meru. There's Tengeru. The different places I go to hike. The safaris in Arusha are
amazing, yeah?
Chef's kiss.
Yes. What's that? Is that English? Chef's kiss.
It's
that's interesting.
So the safaris, the hiking, camping, you can't find a camping place in Dar. So if you are this person who is more outdoor in terms of nature and all that I find in Arusha. So in my holidays, I go to Arusha, but when I'm at work, Dar es Salaam, the nightlife,
the parties,
so it's a more balanced that way, I see.
Is food more better in Arusha or Dar es Salaam?
Food is expensive here. There's this saying that people say, if you're visiting somebody in Dar es Salaam, you have to tell them prior because they'd be like, hey, what will they eat?
Budget.
I think it's because of the economy and all that. So for Arusha, people are more welcoming. They can host you for a week, a month. We host people at our home for a week, months. But in Dar, 2 days, it's like, yo, bro, dude, sort yourself out.
The mgeni thing start applying.
You'll be like, siku ya tatu. They're like, okay, are you contributing to the budget? So it's different. People are more kind in Arusha, but here it's strict. The economy is way up there. So
Oh, awesome. So you went to Erasmus. Is Erasmus Mundus or Erasmus Plus different?
I think they're different because for me, Erasmus Plus was more of youth volunteering services where you have exchange programs. I think could be similar to the Mundus, but for us it was a youth exchange programs where we had youth from 6 different countries in Europe and in Africa. So in Africa it was for Uganda and Tanzania, and then we had youth from Italy, from Latvia, and then there's some from Germany, and then there's some from Bulgaria in itself. And so you get together
different
cultures, learning experiences. I think for me, that also led me to starting African Child Projects. Was when I went there, we were experimenting with things like Google Doc. I think that's like basic. But for us, we were like, okay, our supervisors like open Google Doc, and then we start writing, and we were like, what is Google Doc? For you're finishing Form 6 in Tanzania and you have never interacted with computer in your entire life. You're going to university for the first time. that's when you're seeing a computer.
Yeah.
So I think for me, that's what led me to start African Child Project and look on a school connectivity projects in rural areas for that.
So you started it while there?
I studied it while there because as part, when you finish the voluntary service, you're required to write a project.
Okay.
And then they give you a small grant to write that project and implement. So you write a project of your choice, and then after that, you start implementing. So after this, it was 6 months. We learned different things, including creating podcasts with members from the community. We also learned how to write stories, to write scripts. So that's why I do storytelling and blogging.
Yeah.
We also learned how to write projects. So they equip you with different skills, leadership skills and public speaking skills, everything.
Yeah.
And imagine learning all that at a very young age and how it evolves to what you're going to do in the future. So for me, that laid a foundation of what I'm working on now. And also the small grant gave me a way to at least narrow down on what I want to do after I finish my volunteering service.
Yeah.
And I wrote, I think back then it was African Child Clubs. I wanted to start clubs in schools and for students to come together, learn something around tech and all that. And then people were asking me, why African Child Clubs? You could have variety of projects in African Child. So maybe try find a better name. So I was like, okay, maybe African Child Projects. Because the vision I have for it is we having multiple projects around technology, and that's what we're having it now. Projects around technology in health. We have technology in democracy.
Wow.
Technology in education. So it's we shock ourselves every day on what projects we can come up with and how people receive them. I think for us, the biggest shock was technology in democracy. I think that project was like...
What was shocking about it?
How can technology influence democracy? I think that was the shock, because from us in Tanzania, there's no such a thing as technology in democracy. Even our elections are still the traditional ways where you go and vote. The way we interact with our government officials are still the physical interaction. So when you tell people that there's a better way to do it, which saves time and effort and resources, they'd be like, it's not possible in Tanzania. Yes. So for us, the Ongea na Demokrasia project, we call it Ongea na Demokrasia, speak with democracy. And the phrase that when democracy speaks, technology listens. So it makes you think, what's it about? So that's the project we've been implementing for a year, and it's coming to an end, but a lot of promising findings have come from it. We've had a lot of researchers and just everything unfolding, I think, from all the projects we've been involved in. And every time when something new happens, or when we're able to invent a different type of project or any initiative, for us, it's one of our proudest moments, I think, as youth, because we are 100% youth-led.
Oh, wow. How many are you in that project?
In the organization? 6. 6.
And is it based in Dar or it's distributed across the country?
We are in 26 regions, across every region in Tanzania. Okay. So we are just a group of 6 youth, and we work with variety of people on ground who we call digital friends. We have trained 30 ITs who are working as our regional ITs. So we are just sitting on top of a huge team of implementers on ground, and we are just administrating it all. Wow, so we found we found a better way to do it. Instead of being in every region, we put money and resources. And at least those people know their region. Some of them are from NGOs that are existing in those regions. So how about building capacity for those NGOs on ground instead of going to establish your own office in every ground? So that's how we've been able to be in every region and just implementing at a very short time. Our biggest success was at the beginning of the year, we went across 86 to 90 schools within a week. Wow. For us,
that's impressive. That's high schools or
high
primary
schools? High school.
Wow. That's
within a week.
And what was the response in those interactions?
The response is good. It's shocking how people want to learn, but they are scared also. There's that the fear, but also the excitement that's there. Yeah. So you'd go to schools, teachers would want to learn, but they're also scared of telling you that I don't know this. So they'd be like, I'm coming back. They disappear.
They never come back. Yeah.
And then you tell them this is a learning process. You can sit with us, say you don't know, we can train you, because that is the so-called ICT teacher, but they don't know. They know just by the books. This is how things are. But when you take computers to them practically, they don't know what to do with it. And one of my, I think, aha moment, or the moment that melted my heart was we're in this school, we are training a kid how to switch on a computer for the first time, how to interact with the computer. And they were scared. They were literally trembling. Their hands were like this. And we're like, you can touch. You are not going to break. And they're touching like the keyboard and pressing, and they're trembling. I was like, this is what I went through when I was volunteering for the first time. And we are given a computer, open Google Doc, start working. And I was like, what is this? Yes, so that same feeling for me, I get to understand and relate to them in that moment.
That's beautiful. Yeah, because it puts you in a situation where you start realizing that most of the African child, or even Africans in general, they're really, really smart, but they don't believe they are. I don't. For some reason, people are taught like you're not enough. Like everyone else can do it, but not you, which is really unfortunate. And I'm glad of the work you're doing. Because even for us, when we are empowering developers, it's the same thing that we encounter. But eventually people start now seeing these work, they build the confidence, they go ahead in building different amazing things.
And also, just to add to that, and at times, no one tells you that you're not enough. There's this inferiority complex that you've seen from your community and you adapt it. You know, you can see children at a young age. No one sits them down and say, you're not enough. But how do they know that they are not enough? I think it's the narrative that has been passed down from generation to generations that we are not so good, we can't compete with the global market, or I can't apply for that job because I'm not enough. Even the feud between Tanzania and Kenyans, we are always scared of you guys. We can't compete with you in an interview. I think it's just the mentality that maybe I don't know enough. So it's just that narrative being passed down from generation to generation. It could be silently, but also vocally. But it exists. It exists.
True.
And it takes a lot of effort to...
That's changing very fast. And I think it's a kind of initiative that, the platform that you're creating for people to explore. And I think that's also another reason why we are doing this podcast, because these stories are never told. And maybe some, mainstream media will come, cover it, and then just 1 minute, 30 seconds, which leaves a lot out. And also I understand, because everyone is competing for that airtime. Some of people are paying for it. So when we get to record this, we try to go deep to see what can you explore. Now, you've been running this project for now over 6 years.
I wish 4 years.
4 years, right?
We just celebrated our birthday last month, August.
Wow, that's amazing. How did you celebrate the birthday?
It was our first time celebrating, because we've been running the NGO for 3 years without stable funding. So this year we've had at least a stable funding. So we took the team out for a team building activity. We even had the cake and dinner and had different games. For me, I think as a founder, I was like, wow, we are able to do this, because we've been operating from our own pockets, year 1, year 2, year 3. That's why when I was saying, if you're speaking of Catherine, you're speaking of patience and persistence. Because imagine you are asking, you have a side job where you take money from your side job and put into this dream that you have. So that's where persistence and patience comes in, because you are not sure if it will bring fruits anytime soon. So for us, celebrating 4 years and being able to at least do this small thing for the team and cutting cake together,
crazy.
I know, right?
I can see the excitement on your face.
It's
for those who will be listening for the audio, the video is also available on YouTube. Just check it out, subscribe, comment, give feedback. And if you want your story to be told, please let us know. Whenever you're in your African city, you can always hook up and, tell your story. But Catherine, I want us to, shift gear a bit and tell us how you got to know about Mozilla Common Voice, or how did this start? Did they approach you? Did they write you an email? How was that?
Okay. So I was working with a colleague of mine, Rebecca Riakitimbo. She has been a Mozilla fellow for a long time. And then, so Mozilla was pioneering this new project, the Common Voice in Tanzania. And they were looking for people who can be community champions.
Okay.
And so since they wanted to reach a huge number of people in areas that are not very well connected, or people who have worked with underprivileged communities. And so she thought of me immediately and submitted my name for possible consideration. Yes.
Yeah.
So submitted my name and profile, and then after they reviewed my profile and the community that I've worked with and the work that we do at African Child Projects, that's how I got to be a community champion. Yeah, and so just to bring the aspect of inclusivity in the Common Voice, because it's all about inclusive of the Swahili language and also inclusive of different voices from the community. So that's how I got to be part of this amazing project, the Common Voice project.
Yeah. So please tell us more about Mozilla Common Voice and its mission. What is this Mozilla Common Voice?
Okay, so as they famously call it, Sauti ya Jamii, Mozilla Common Voice is a voluntary project where I think I'll speak now from a non-tech perspective. It's a voluntary project where we aim to increase the Swahili data set in the voice ecosystem. I think that's how I'll say it. So previously, when you would want to interact with services like Google and others, you'd have to have this accent and like a BBC reporter to speak and get recognized. But for us, we wanted to know if we get online and maybe speak in Swahili in the accent, like, we have like 200 and something tribes. If I speak my Swahili accent that is related to my tribe, maybe somehow, like the Chaga or what, will I be able to get recognized by the software? And also, will it be able to give me the requests that I need?
Okay.
So that was like the whole idea behind the Sauti ya Jamii, or the Common Voice. And for us, I think now reaching to that idea took us through various phases. I think I would call them different stepping stones for us to reach to that idea. So we have to collect sentences that we can feed into the machine. We also have to verify the sentences or validate. But then again, I would just explain the terminology if you need me to. But also, after validating the sentences, we also have to clean. First of all, we collect, clean, and then validate. After that, they are fed into the machine, and then now we are able to put our voices in terms of reading them out loud and recording our voice. So that's how they call share your voice in the platform. If you don't know about the Mozilla Common Voice project, you can visit the Mozilla Common Voice on the website, and you can create your account and be able to share your voice. So for us, that has been the learning curve for 3 years now. I think collecting, and we've been able to collect up to 24,000 hours of audios. But also different languages are now being uploaded. I think people are able to upload their local languages, and making I think the voice technology inclusive of non-English speakers. I think that's what I love most about the Mozilla Common Voice. Apart from Swahili language, there are also other languages across the globe that have been able to be fed into the project. I think Swahili came in on 2021. But before that, there has been a lot of interactions across the globe. People have been able to add their voices, add their languages into the platform. So it speaks of how are we being more inclusive then again, of other languages, of how do we make technology relatable to everyone, and making them comfortable to use these services for non-English speakers.